tonight's main event. Welcome to Hit the Match. In this corner, from New Milford, Connecticut, your WWE mentor, Dan the Man Maloney. And his opponent, from Toledo, Ohio, the filthy casual himself, Chris Hogan. Let's get it on.
So let's get into our WrestleMania predictions. Now we're going to keep score, and whoever wins will get some kind of championship something. We're still deciding on what I want to do based on cost. But an award.
Please support us on Patreon.
Yeah, an award will be given to the victor. Basically, we're going to go through all of the announced matches. Obviously, we can't predict what else will be there.
962.
And discuss, what our prediction is for the victor of the match. And every correct choice will be a point. And then at the end, we will have a bold prediction that we'll throw on the table. If it's not bold enough, because you're playing it too safe, and the table vetoes you two votes of veto to take down a bold prediction, you'll have to think of another one. But it will be worth 5 total points, which can definitely swing things in your favor for the victory. Yeah, we got a lot to get to, so let's just dive right in.
Let's do it.
Let's see here. We got the Jobber
Where
Woman's.
to begin?
The pre-show to the pre-show.
WrestleMania.
We got the two kind of all-encompassing Jobber Rumbles there, featuring the women's and then the men's. Now Asuka is on the women's one. And she is clearly the one I'm picking to win because we got to do something because she's clearly the best one
They owe her.
in that group.
I owe you. I'm passionate.
No.
That's the least you can do.
And clearly they've been trying to give her something of an apology with the whole huge tag team match they had on SmackDown this week. And, they let her showcase a little bit. And even when she, was there up with Jeff Hardy, and they're like, yeah, we did it. And then Jeff Hardy turns around and she throws him out of the ring. Clearly they're trying to, apologize to the crowd a little bit. Like, all right, we realize it was a fuck up. We're sorry. Here's a little something.
Well, this is how demented the WWE is. What I heard was that they were actually happy that the crowd was so pissed because they think that shows, see, they do support Asuka. So when we eventually push her, people will be behind her. That's the way they think about these things. Yeah, just genuine rage at how you manage your product is not what you're supposed to be going for.
No. And it wasn't even like a good story reason why. If it was a good story reason.
They still haven't explained why Charlotte got a title match at all.
Yeah. And now our woman's victor
Charlotte
is going to have both fucking titles, which theoretically means we're going to have to see her on both shows. And we've already been seeing the storyline go on way too long on both shows.
So they're not, and that was like the biggest thing to me, which was like dumbfounding. Was like they're not going to unify these belts. She's just going to have both the belts and be on. And I'm just like, interesting.
Which means somebody's going to get fucked. It's going to be Raw. It's going to be SmackDown. One of these shows is going to get fucked over, and they're not going to see their belt for weeks and weeks and weeks.
I don't get it.
Yeah. It's not good. It's not good. So my choice is officially Asuka. I don't know how you guys feel.
Want to just go in order here?
Sure.
What do you got?
I'll say Asuka. Asuka's the.
I'm a bold prediction. Your favorite, Lacey Evans. I think they've been waiting.
No!
They've been waiting for this moment.
You shut your whore mouth. I don't know.
I like the blondes. Oh, yeah.
He
Come on,
might be
Asuka.
right.
I veto that as a bold prediction, by the way, because that was my second choice behind Asuka.
No.
That's not my bold. I'm just saying.
Oh, yes. It is
The
a
writing
bold
is
prediction.
on
Not the
wall
bold prediction.
for Lacey Evans to be like,
Yeah.
comes in at the last moment.
I also have a strong feeling it's going to be her. I'm picking Asuka just because I think they owe it to her and because I think...
Not that this match matters because it's not for anything.
No, but I think they just need to maintain her monster status because she will quickly plummet if they don't keep her winning after what happened with Charlotte. So I think for that reason, just to maintain her status, she will win. But I think that I would not be surprised if Lacey won, and she would be my second guess
Absolutely.
for sure. Because they're building for something.
Yeah.
They're building
Oh,
for
yeah.
You
surely.
don't know what it is.
Surely there's a plan here.
Hopefully.
They're gonna love it, Paul. They're gonna love this. She's gonna win the Rumble.
She's blonde. It's fine. She's blind. She's hot. She's hot.
She's
She's
hot.
blonde. She's tall. It's great. This is great.
Oh man. Don't do it to me, Vince. Don't do it. Please, for the love of God, don't do it.
Oh my God.
Next up, we got the men's version. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know who's in the men's one right now.
Braun Strowman.
There you go. There's a pick.
You think Braun Strowman?
All right.
All right.
If you see, there, I think it was on Raw, and it was like pictures of like everybody, and then
Yeah,
Braun Strowman's pictures.
it's just-
He was like 8. It was
Yeah.
like
Are they all standing by a statue?
it was like small
Yeah.
little. And Braun Strowman's on the side right here. Like look it up. It's absolutely hilarious.
I think Colin Jost is the headliner in this
Jost.
match.
Oh
He's,
my fucking God!
Oh, all right.
I hate
Colin
this-
Jost.
I
I would
hate
count
this
that as a
SNL.
bold prediction if he picks Colin
No.
Jost.
The SNL thing is killing me. I
Yeah.
can't. I fucking hate it. I hate it. It's
Yeah,
so bad.
I also hate it.
They are also two of the people I like the least on SNL.
Yeah.
Period. Like ever.
Yeah.
They
I
don't
think
do
I,
anything.
I think they're really bad at reading their cue cards, and I think they're just I don't like their personalities that much on the show.
They are the reason that I'm not picking Braun, because if all things were equal, I would pick Braun. But I think that storyline exists for some reason, and I think the reason will be because the SNL guys are going to find a way to screw Braun Strowman out of the win in some form. So I'm picking Andrade to get a win.
Andrade,
I
all
think he's
right.
a guy that needs the win. I would like to see him get a big push in this next year. I think this would be a small little step forward for him
Okay.
to get a win on this stage. So I'm going with Andrade.
Okay.
I need to know who's all in the match.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah.
just say
Braun,
someone strong
Andrade.
just to be
Just
safe.
it's just so many low
It is?
card guys. Just like the Ascension is in it. Like
Yeah.
going that low into the barrel. They're scraping the bottom
They
of
just
the
dust
barrel.
off dust off a VHS.
Yeah.
Is JTG in this match?
JTG?
Yeah, it's nuts.
All right, so we got updated list. Let's bring it up. For the women's one, we got Asuka, Carmella, Naomi, Lana, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Nikki Cross, Dana Brooke, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, Mickey James, and Zelina
Forgot about
Vega.
Liv Morgan. Dang it.
I love
Should have been my pick.
Yeah. You want to change it?
No.
It's not too late. All right. For
I just
the
love Liv Morgan. I'm not gonna pick her.
for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, we have confirmed Braun Strowman, Michael Che, Colin Jost, Fuck My Life,
Let's put it down.
Andrade, Apollo Crews, Titus O'Neil, Tyler Breeze, Jinder Mahal, fuck that, No Way, Jose, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, Lucha House Party, Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel. Holy shit, there's a lot.
Oh my God.
Heath Slater, Rhino, Victor, Connor, Ali, who used to be Mustafa Ali, but is now just Ali
I don't like that.
because Vince
that
doesn't
at all.
like
I don't like
having
it.
to
He's been one
pronounce
name.
foreign
I don't
names.
like
He's
it.
on a one-name tear
I
lately.
don't like it.
Shelton Benjamin, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. Hey, they're getting something to do. Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Otis, Tucker, and EC3. Boy,
It's an impressive lineup.
there's
right
a
there.
lot of fucking people in there.
Cream of the crop. Love everybody. 10 out of 10 matches, all of them, across the board.
Oh,
I
fantastic.
do legit like 80% of those people though, and it's sad that
Yeah.
they're in this.
Yeah.
If they're used correctly.
I forgot Breezy existed, even though he's fantastic.
Right.
It's wow.
I'll say Braun. I'll stick with
Ron.
Sticking with Braun.
All right. Still sticking with Andrade?
Sticking with Andrade.
What about you, Caleb?
I'll say Andrade too.
Andrade?
Of course, I'm biased, but
He's great, though.
He's fantastic.
Oh.
He's fantastic.
Man, this is a tough one.
for all the wrong reasons. It's tough.
Telling you.
Yeah, probably.
Telling you, Rhino is calling to you.
I know the Gallows is there.
It's right there
He's in
for
the
you.
stable.
He's just waiting for
I go
you.
for Luke Gallows or Ken Anderson. I'm sure they'll win.
He's ready to gore some fools, all right? Just-
He's 98 years old.
Just because I love him and I want him to have a happy ending at the show, I'm going Otis.
I was just gonna.
Ah, there you go.
I'm going
there
Otis.
you go.
You guys are.
He's
Get-
coming! Pretty lady!
I want him to win so bad. He won't. He probably won't. But
There will be a caterpillar. At least we know that.
Yeah, that's the spot reserved.
That's going to happen.
Yeah.
next up, we have a match between the Revival and Ryder and who's his tag team partner? I can't read my writing. Hawkins.
Zack Ryder
All right.
and Kurt Hawkins.
I don't know. But
Well,
makes
they
so much
exist, so
yep.
that's the main reason.
It seems like a waste of space.
we
We love.
Asuka a match.
Yeah.
No, she
Yeah,
does not
no
deserve
kidding.
one.
This is a
Hawkins, are you? Anything tomorrow?
Dan and I love the Revival.
Love
Clearly.
Revival.
They're so good.
But
Huge
this-
Revival fan.
I think
They're the
clearly
best
this
tag
is
team to
just
have.
Yeah.
a reason to have the Revival squash somebody after they've been perennially disrespected throughout their title reign.
I'm happy they're on the card, but
Yep.
again, it's just another sign of disrespect for the Revival that these are the opponents that they come up with for them. I understand the Raw tag division is pretty barren, but even Heavy Machinery would have been a good pick for me.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to go into the mid card of the Raw tag division. So, super bummer, but I'm picking the Revival. Even though
I mean, you could have Glorious go back out there and try to get it back. you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I'm a little worried about the fact that Hawkins has that losing streak and this is WrestleMania, because this WrestleMania is the time where crazy things like ending a 200 match losing streak happens.
That's so
So I'm a little nervous because of that, but I'm picking the Revival.
any disagreement here?
I think the Revival still wants to leave. I think they still have one foot out the door. I don't think this belt is keeping them. So I'm going to say Hawkins right.
Holy
bold.
cow.
Another bold prediction.
This pre-show is going to be wild.
He's out for blood.
Man.
I'm going to win the belt.
Yeah.
Damn.
We take
If
the lead.
WWE
It's going all
wasn't
in.
so like fucking just shitty with their right control, I would want to do like a live watch party with us, like just to see how we feel about our
Well, maybe they
predictions.
block it,
Yeah.
block the live stream
Isn't it
and
so
Yeah.
shitty how like Raw has like no tag team?
Yeah, it's
teams,
pathetic.
But like SmackDown has a million.
Yeah.
And they
Also,
don't.
this is,
They
like-
still don't
That's
use them.
that's
And
still
they
a problem.
Still don't use them.
SmackDown has everybody.
Yeah,
like
there's
they
no
have a
show.
ton of talent.
There's no show anywhere that has the depth in the tag division that SmackDown has. It's ridiculous. I mean, you saw this a few weeks ago when Heavy Machinery had to run the gauntlet against the Ascension and the B Team and Hawkins and Ryder, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then you realize, oh, that's the Raw tag division.
That's it.
That's it.
This is it. What am I looking at? This
Yeah.
is it.
This is the division. Wow. It's
pretty bad.
Wow.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you got
I mean,
the
even
Bar
New Day is
over
on
there
SmackDown.
taking
Just-
losses on SmackDown because you got so many guys that you've got to push.
I can't wait for this the draft, man.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, that's going to be great. I want to see AJ move to Raw. I need to see the AJ Seth Rollins feud before AJ runs out of gas. He's 42. He's going to run out of gas soon. You got to see the AJ Seth
Put him
feud.
on Raw.
Yeah.
Has to happen.
Put him on Raw.
What are you saying, Shane? Revival?
Revival.
Revival. Playing it safe. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm-
So,
Yeah.
dude,
Caleb's lone wolf in it.
Caleb's either going to be way ahead of us or he's going to be
45
yeah,
by the time
Yeah.
we're done.
he's going to be in the pit of despair.
Got to set yourself apart somehow.
Uh,
Leo Rush, so we don't know.
Oh, yes.
Next up, we got the 205 Live championship there. This one featuring Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese.
Please give it more than 8 minutes, please.
Dude.
Please.
We talked about this on one of our recorded shows. I don't know if it's the one I finished yet or not, but it's out there. No, I think it's on the upcoming one. Tony Nese, I did not know who the fuck Tony Nese was. Honest to God.
Fair.
Honest to God. I expected Cedric Alexander to beat him in that championship match, like,
Same.
clearly, because everybody knows Cedric Alexander, whereas Tony Nese is just a guy. He's Buddy Murphy's, buddy. That's what I knew him as, and that's all I knew. However, he's been putting on spectacular matches throughout this whole tournament, and when we saw him at SmackDown Live, 205 Live, which is at the SmackDown show, he was amazing, just outstanding. And then the championship match with Cedric Alexander was fucking incredible. Dan's talked about how the Pete Dunne Walter match is his match of the year so far. For me, it was Tony Nese versus Cedric Alexander, because for me, that was like the pinnacle of entertainment. I know there wasn't much story for it, but for me, that didn't dock at any points at all. I was so entertained. I was nostalgic. I had goosebumps. I felt like a kid again watching that match. It was incredible, and I'm a huge fan of Tony Nese now. Now, I think he has a problem that a lot of the wrestling crowd has right now, that they have just kind of bitch ass voices. They don't sound intimidating, even though they're jacks and they pull off these amazing moves and their in-ring talent is better than it's ever been.
Yeah, Seth, looking at you.
That's exactly why I don't love Seth as much as I wish I could.
Yeah.
Just because his voice, something just falls flat.
I am coming for Brock Lesnar.
Well, even when he had his,
beast.
yeah, even when he had his promo with Brock Lesnar, he was saying, "It's possible I'll beat you."
Yeah.
I'm like, who says it's possible when you think you're going to dominate this guy?
I know, right?
It kicks him in the
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
You have to recognize it's possible I might beat you. I'm like, what the fuck?
Respect my
That's not
authority.
making you look tough.
Right.
Yeah, it's possible that he would full respect my authority. Boom.
Possible you might suck my dick. I don't know.
Department, yeah.
These nuts. But yeah, there's a lot of characters in the WWE. I think Ricochet is another one that's just phenomenal in the ring, and he falls flat in his promo work just because he doesn't have the voice. He doesn't have the projection or
Yeah.
anything. It's just
Cedric has that problem too.
I think
as a
these
matter of
guys
fact, we
need to
mentioned
smoke.
Cedric.
Yeah, they need to smoke more cigarettes or something. Rough out that voice a little bit, you know.
7 packs a day.
Yeah. Got to get him some unfiltered stuff.
Yeah.
Yup.
But I think this is going to be an amazing match. For me, it's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
If they give
period.
it the time. And
You
that's
know?
why I just said, please give it more than 8 minutes, because if you give them 15, they're going to tear the house down and could steal the
Yeah.
show. But
Now-
their disrespect for the cruiserweight division
Yeah.
at these big 4 pay-per-views
Yep.
specifically is a chronic problem. And I'm just afraid they're going to go for 8 minutes.
And let's face it, the crowd's probably not going to recognize them quite as much because it's 205 live.
And it'll be at 3 p.m. They're getting hot dogs
Yeah.
in the stadium.
But I'm anticipating that this will be a fucking amazing match if they have the time, as Dan said. And as much as I want to pick Tony Nese because I've fallen in love with him throughout these past few weeks, throughout the tournament, I'm gonna have to go with Buddy Murphy because I just don't think he has the pull right now to overcome Buddy Murphy and really take over that role. And I think Cedric Alexander is going to be the champion eventually, and take it from Buddy Murphy. That's what I think. That's how I feel. As much as I want Tony Nese to win. So, how do you guys feel?
I'll say Tony once again. With my, he's from New York. They might think that the crowd might know him more. So I think
I
he's
didn't know
been
that.
building up to it. Buddy's had it for a while now, so I think Buddy might even get moved up somewhere. You never know because he's done great work.
Yeah,
so.
he seems like he's ready. I'm going with Tony Nese also. I think I'm picking him for the same reason I picked Walter, really, which is just that Buddy's running out of challengers. He's already beaten Tozawa. He's already beaten Alexander. Him and Alexander have gone at it 50 times, it seems like. I'm not sure who else is left as far as legitimate, credible main event baby faces on 205, unless you're going to Kalisto or someone like that.
Right.
So I think because Buddy's out of challengers and now finding out Tony's from New York, I didn't even know that. That is definitely a big boost for him because they love to do that hometown thing, like they did with Buddy when he won the championship in Melbourne.
Right.
So I'm going to go with Tony Nese.
All right, so we got. And what did you say, Shane? I'm sorry.
I will say Buddy. I'm just playing it super safe.
He's your buddy. He's your buddy. He's your pal.
He's my pal. He looks like
Split
$1 million
decision.
He looks like $1 million though, Buddy.
He's still better than when he was in NXT. with
I
Wesley
know
Blake
what
that
the
time.
regimen.
Yeah.
The regimen is what happened.
Also, another reason he needs to go to the main roster. There's no way he's 205 pounds.
Yep.
He's got that in one
There's
pack.
there's a lot of lies going on at 205 Live.
Really 205
Yeah.
either.
Yeah,
It's
Cedric
inflated.
isn't either. Yeah, no way.
There's no way.
Next up, we have the Usos versus Blackachet versus the Bar versus
Nakarusev.
Nakarusev, as Dan likes to call him. Before we do our predictions, I gotta say this. I don't think Ricochet and Aleister Black work well as a tag team. So even though they're really getting strong push, throughout this entire process, I really don't want them to win.
Right.
That's not to say I don't think they will win. I just don't want them to win. And I feel the same way about Rusev and Nakamura. Even though I want them to get the respect they deserve and showcase what they can do, I don't like their tag team at all. It doesn't make sense in the story, and I really hate it. Now, the Usos and the Bar are both amazing tag teams. The problem with the Bar is that they've been eating pins left and right to push everybody else for so long. They don't have any clout really anymore.
Definitely.
And Cesaro specifically, I think, people don't recognize, but he's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
He's amazing.
He's the most underrated guy in the company, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love Cesaro.
Yeah.
And then we got the Usos, who are kind of perennially the best tag team out there.
I love the Usos.
At least on SmackDown. They are amazing promo artists.
Yeah.
They're amazing in the
mic
ring.
work is next
They have the
level.
legacy because of the family.
Yeah,
It's just they got everything going for them. So I just want to put that out there. That I kind of feel like Black O'Shea is going to get the push and possibly get the win. Although the Usos shot a promo talking about how they wanted to take on the Hardy Boys.
Right.
So I feel like it doesn't
And
make
that went nowhere, which
Yeah.
is odd.
which makes me think that it doesn't make sense for them to lose the belt just to eventually face the Hardy Boys without the belt. So because of that, I'm going to go with the Usos retaining the belt there at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'll go with the Usos also. I think that they have a lot more to give with this particular reign. I don't think you put the titles on a team like the Usos if they're not going to have a few different opponents during the time that they're champions, and this would only be their second challenge, really, after McMiz twice. So I think for that reason, the Usos got to keep the belts a little longer, at least through maybe till SummerSlam.
I love McMiz. Don't you give me that face.
I think Nakarusev just has not built any credibility as a tag team, and in fact has mainly been losing when they were together. I think the bar is coming too soon off of a pretty extended title reign, and I think that Black O'Shea is getting ready to separate and perhaps have a singles feud, which I would be very interested in seeing. I don't think the long-term plan for them would be in the tag division. I'd be very
I hope
surprised
not.
if that was the
I
long-term
really hope
plan.
not.
That wouldn't make sense because of what great singles competitors they are, and because I feel like Black is ready to be a main eventer today. So for all of those reasons, and a little bit because I'm a mark for them, I'm going to go with the Usos.
All right. What do you guys think?
Usos signed a new 5-year deal. Usos.
Ooh, dirt sheet boy.
Keep him out of AEW. We'll
We got-
keep the belts.
Definitely.
Got the true insider over
You
here.
want to keep them happy.
Yeah.
You gotta keep the belt on them.
You know, Jimmy really paid for that arrest. Boy,
Yeah.
you know, his career has not recovered.
We're uniform across the board Usos now. Usually whenever...
First time?
Yep.
Across
First time so
Wow.
far.
Whoa.
Unanimous pick
Yeah.
in a 4-way match, nonetheless.
Yeah. What are the chances? But let's face it, Usos,
Usos.
they got the pool.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the final match, farewell tour for Kurt Angle. This one versus Baron Corbin.
I'm just leave now.
This
That's when I
now-
leave.
Yeah, we got a bathroom break. Yeah, exactly.
filthy casuals, more filthy than myself. I mean, the filthiest of casuals would probably take their bathroom break during the 205 Live match,
Right.
but they would be making a great mistake.
Yes. Yeah.
Stay to cheer Kurt Angle, give him some love,
And
as
be
he
there
deserves.
at the end to give him a great ovation at the end.
Yep. Do the "you suck" chants as he's going in and out. I would ask fans, just as a nice gesture, to change it up just one time to
Never
something
gonna happen.
positive.
Never.
Just one time.
Wow.
It's the last time.
You're a dreamer.
He's so good, he sucks. That's the whole thing.
Yes. It's we love you because of your suckiness.
Yeah.
But the match itself,
Out of love.
I anticipate this match is going to be awful.
Yes.
Because as much
Absolutely.
now, Baron Corbin, it's not necessarily because of him. I don't like that he fights in a dress suit. It's very obnoxious. He's not the manager anymore, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But
He's the
he
Olive Garden waiter.
he does have the villainous pull that a lot of people don't have.
Jeez.
Like
Oh, yeah. Real
Dan says it all the time, where Samoa Joe is a great villain, but he's so good at it that
all
people
love him.
cheer
Right.
for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas Baron Corbin is the perfect weasel. He gets a hail of booze
He
from
gets
everyone.
real heat,
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
heel heat, intentional heel heat,
So-
which almost nobody else does.
Yeah. And he has great finishers, like just awesome finishing moves. However, he's doing it against the most broken, overrun, destroyed legacy wrestler I have ever seen.
Kurt's neck.
And I say this
neck?
all the time.
I don't,
Dude, he's nothing but neck.
but it doesn't move though. It's just,
I don't see how air gets through that tube because
Yeah.
there's just nothing. But I've talked about it. All he does is the fucking the German suplexes on his neck constantly, and it hurts. It physically hurts me to watch him wrestle. Not only because I'm bored, but because I'm worried. I'm worried about the human being
Yeah.
that I love, Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
He has to stop. I'm glad he's stopping. I'm glad
Yeah.
this is the last time we'll have to see it and endure it. I anticipate this will be an awful match because, let's face it, Kurt Angle can't bend, so he can't sell anything.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be Baron trying to pull the weight,
Yeah.
and let's face
and
it,
he's not exactly that kind of guy.
he's not the guy that makes
He's not
other
Samoa
people
Joe.
better. Yeah. So I think it's obvious that Kurt Angle is gonna get his win and go off into the sunset.
Do you now?
imagine the heat Corbin would get. if
Yeah.
he beat him.
But
That's another thing.
but they have screwed over other performers before, like
Oh,
Undertaker and a handful of others in their most recent final matches. Who knows? Maybe they'll do that just to bring the extra Baron heat. But Baron did eat a pin like 2 weeks ago, so
And like 2 minutes to Apollo Crews,
that would be really shitty. But
Yeah, I got Corbin. I think you don't retire. Retiring guys don't win. It's just not how these things generally happen. Shawn Michaels took a loss in his last match. Ric Flair took a loss in his last match. Undertaker took a loss in what was supposed to be his last match. Then he took another loss in what was supposed to be his last match again. I think the retiring guy loses because they need to build up the heel heat of Baron Corbin, and this will accentuate that or amplify it rather.
Yep.
And I think that this is when we're going to get one of the WrestleMania surprises. I think somebody is going to come. Put Corbin in his place after he beats Angle, and then Angle will have his stand tall moment. I don't know who that person's going to be. It could be John Cena. It could be The Undertaker. I think that this will be one of the WrestleMania swerves. I think Corbin gets a win, and somebody who is legendary status will come out and then wrestle Corbin to defend Kurt's honor a little bit, beat Corbin, and then that person with Angle will stand tall in the ring. That's my very specific prediction for this match.
Yep.
That's good though.
All right, what do you guys think?
I agree entirely now that he just
So
they
Corbin.
love their heat for heat's sake, and
Yes.
I would go over the top for him.
All right, Shane.
I'll say Angle, man. You don't just. I
Vince
feel
does,
like
though.
if Vince does, but like he's given everything to this business, and like you want to do a proper send off to one of the greatest ever, and I feel like the crowd would probably turn by then and be like, "This is." Like, I can see the chants. I
Yeah.
can see the smarky chants.
This is
and I'd be
bullshit.
Like, oh, they're throwing shit. I'd give
Especially in New York.
yeah, I'd give it to Angle. Give him a proper send off, and maybe let Corbin attack him afterwards. You know, get some heat on Corbin. You want to make Angle ride him off to the sunset, but also keep the heat on Corbin and just like physically attack him afterwards and get somebody.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Mick Miz Fallout match at WrestleMania that Dan predicted from the beginning.
Yeah.
Of course, we didn't foresee how it was going to happen
Yeah.
because he thought it was going to be opposite way. But
First time I saw them together, I said, they are having a match at WrestleMania. Sure enough.
Yep. But I love everything about this. I know other people don't. I loved it when they had the daddy son tag team. I liked how they were playing into it really hard.
It's been his favorite thing for months.
I really have. I love how Miz has the puppy dog eyes every time. You know,
I do
he
like
takes the
Babyface
pin.
Miz.
Yeah.
I do like Baby. We've never gotten to see Babyface Miz, and he has brought something different to it.
And I enjoy Shane being the evil villainous asshole that's just sick of propping everybody else up and taking all this bullshit for Miz. And I loved how he just manhandled his father, Mr. Potato Face.
That was
Mr. Potato Face.
We were at the show, the Fallout show from that, and it was fucking awesome when he came out and he was doing it to the announcer, like, do it better.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I'm loving everything about it. I think Shane is doing this very naturally and makes you kind of wonder how much of his father is actually in there.
A lot.
But I think it's going to be a great match. I love how Miz has been angry, like legitimately angry. You never see him legitimately angry and furious and just demolishing people. Like he destroyed Sanity. Like,
Poor Sanity.
It's just
That's another.
I know.
And this is-
They died for this match.
yeah. And this is a Falls Count Anywhere match, so they're probably they're gonna be everywhere. They're gonna be Shane's crazy, so he's gonna be jumping off of everything.
Zero will jump off the Empire State Building before it's done.
And do a coast to coast.
Oh my god.
And it's
Literally from coast to coast, from Jersey to New York.
yeah. I think it's going to be amazing. I know a lot of people don't agree, but
Amazing.
I think especially
Amazing?
Yes.
That's the word.
Shane always does the craziest
Yeah.
shit, and Miz is legitimately like angry and furious and pulling all the stops. And I think Miz is a great wrestler. Like he's not top tier, but he's definitely great.
Yeah, he's good.
And I think people don't.
I like that.
Because-
That's my.
But
If you put him with a good guy, then the match will be good.
Yeah.
so I'm looking forward to this, especially after Kurt Angle. Like it's gonna pale in comparison, with the Kurt Angle bullshit that's probably gonna take place. And the crowd will probably be eating it up, and it'll be a nice warm up to what's to come later in the show. This one's tough for me because I think they're really pushing this angry Miz thing. but I think Shane's going to win because they can push the storyline continuously into the future, and it's a very recent thing still. So I think Shane's going to get the victory in the end, whether it's because he pulls some corporate shenanigans to win and cheat or whatever the case may be. That's probably how it's going to go down, but I predict Shane to win.
Yeah, I'm going to go with The Miz. I do think that the dynamic of the match favors Shane because of the fact that it's Falls Count Anywhere. So when he jumps off the top of something through a table, he can pin you right there just by landing on you. So I think the actual physical dynamics of the match favor him greatly. So it seems obvious what a Shane victory finish would look like. But I think storyline-wise, this is a case where it's gotten so personal, I have trouble believing that the bad guy won't get his comeuppance in this case, especially at Face-a-Palooza, which WrestleMania always is. So I feel like this is a case where the face has to go over. I'd be surprised if they extended the story past WrestleMania. It has only been like a month, but it feels like they've done mostly all they can with building this to this point. So I feel like the face is going to triumph in this case. He has not really had any standing tall moments with Shane up to this point, so it feels like, it's been leading up to Miz finally getting it done against and beating his bully on this particular stage. So I'll go with the Miz.
Okay.
I love Shane until he wrestles. I just feel like it's unnecessary. But if he's going to continue to wrestle, he needs to win to make us believable, for him to even be in these matches. So I got Shane for that.
I'll give it to Miz.
Going against your namesake, huh?
I know. Forsaking it. Yeah.
I call him Shane O'Mac all the time.
He does. He does.
Next up, we have the women's tag team for Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya versus Nia Jax and Tamina versus the Iconics. As much as I like a handful of the people in this match, specifically Sasha, I don't like the tag team with Sasha and Bayley. I think Beth Phoenix and Natalya, while they're strong and still impressive, I don't think they're fun to watch. People have conflicting opinions about Nia Jax and Tamina, but Tamina definitely is not good.
Don't think there's any conflict on that one.
Right. I was waiting for the conflict.
There's no controversy.
That
says unanimous as it gets in wrestling.
Yeah. The Iconics are entertaining as like clowns, but that's about it. Although they did entertain a little bit at the Elimination Chamber, so I do give them some credit. But I think this match is gonna be garbage. Honestly, I don't.
But I thought that about the Chamber too. To be fair to these competitors, thought the Chamber would suck, and everybody pulled their weight big time. So yeah, even Nia throwing herself through the pod door was, that's a big time spot for her. Yeah. So everybody kind of pulled their weight. So hopefully they will this time. But I also am not optimistic about the quality of this match.
Yeah. So just because I think Sasha and Bayley are going to keep the belt so they can defend it on NXT and a few other places, I think it's just going to be Sasha and Bayley. Again, I don't like them as a tag team. I like them as individual characters, but I hope it doesn't go to anybody else because I really don't want to see anybody else with the women's tag team and this group, defending it for several weeks. So I'm going Sasha and Bayley.
Yeah, I'm going Boston Hug also. I think part of my thinking is that because NXT TakeOver for June was just announced to be in San Jose, it seems very obvious where they're going with that, which is Boston Hug versus Sky Pirates in Bayley's hometown. I'm picking Boston Hug because I think that they have, much like the Usos, they have more to give in their reign, and I do think that they should. I shouldn't say that because TakeOver is in San Jose, they're definitely going to do this. I should say they definitely should do this. Yeah. So I'm putting a little faith in them that they're going to do it. And for that reason, I think Boston Hug retains. I'm not as pessimistic about the match quality as you, although I don't think it'll be one of the matches of the night by any means.
Yep.
But I liked what I saw from Beth Phoenix when she made her return. She does some fun power stuff. And I do think
strong.
And I still think Natalya is one of the most technically sound female wrestlers on the roster. So Natalya could definitely carry her weight. Yeah. And I think her and Sasha have great chemistry. When they had that match on Raw a couple weeks ago, I really enjoyed it. It was very short, but you could see the chemistry between them. So I think if they put the right pieces together, this can be a decent match. But I got Boston Hug.
Yep.
I got him too. I hate the name, by the way. I don't know if you guys like
I
it.
hate the
It's
tag
terrible.
team.
Makes no
Yeah.
sense.
I hate
The
their
Rock
tag
and
team.
Sock rhymed.
Yeah,
No.
it does not.
Their
make
feud
any
was
sense.
so good together. They're complete opposites as they should be, but
Yes.
I'd hate the dynamic
Yeah,
together.
their gimmicks are incongruous. They
Yeah.
just don't line
and their,
up.
and their
together.
wrestling,
It does not.
their
at
tag
all.
team wrestling moves is kind of what
That
underwhelming.
continues to bewilder me because they're best friends.
Right.
They're both two of the best female talents on the planet, and they put on fantastic matches against each other, and yet somehow their tandem offense is garbaggio. And I do not understand how it's possible.
They're not in sync. And, like,
Does anyone have an explanation
They
for this?
wrestle kind of differently too.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
true. They have very different styles.
It's
Yeah,
not-
that doesn't help.
I think they want to establish those belts though, so keep it on them for a little bit longer. So
Yeah.
I
But
got
that
them.
ridiculous spot where Bailey picks up
Awesome.
Sasha and throws her.
Just as a cord down my mouth. We
Yeah,
want to
but-
protect those champs, and these are brand new belts. These
Yeah.
are just belts that are like,
Yeah.
oh, that's the
Yeah.
Raw belts. It's like, no, these are belts that you want to make these.
Got to
you wanna
establish them.
Just
Yeah.
establish them,
Yep.
protect these champs as long as possible. Definitely.
Yep. Next up, we have the United States Championship match with Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio. Both amazing wrestlers. I'm 100% into this.
Yes.
We saw Rey Mysterio roll up Samoa Joe, as he often gets rolled up.
Samoa Joe up, I call him.
Yep. And I think this is going to be a great match, mostly because both of these guys are amazing, and they can do no wrong in my eyes. I hope Rey Mysterio doesn't wear that weird outside thong again that he's been wearing a lot recently.
That was
It's-
disturbing.
It's, very weird.
Still alive.
Yeah.
And the Asuka thing, yeah.
It's just it's very strange, especially when you haven't seen it his entire career. Just kind of out of nowhere. But I think it's going to be a great match. I can really see it going any way. It's very 50-50.
This is one of the toughest picks for
Yeah,
me.
for me, this is like 51-49 confidence scale. But I'm going Samoa Joe retains. That's what I think, because he hasn't had a title for ever, and now he finally has one, and it'd be really shitty if we just took it right away. He's just too good not to have the belt. I'm going Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I'm also 50-50. I'm going to go with Joe simply because I feel like I'm picking a lot of faces so far, and there needs to be some balance. I will not be picking faces across the board with our biggest three matches, so I think that will bring some balance, as we will see, but I think that there needs to be some balance, and so I feel like Joe is a good candidate to retain as a heel champion, and I think he's got a few more opponents I would like to see him tangle with. So, Samoa Joe.
Do we know if Ray's cleared for sure? Because wasn't he hurt?
Last
Raw?
Yeah,
he twisted
pretty-
his ankle
pretty sure
in
he's
that spot
okay.
with Corbin. I haven't heard any updates though. So
Yeah.
If it goes Joe Mysterio, I think Joe, you got to establish him as that.
If
big,
somebody's
dominant
injured,
guy.
I'll discount this entire round. But
Right. But yeah, establish Joe for once. Make him look strong. I got Joe.
what do you say, Shane?
Give Joe his moment, his WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, we got two back to back.
his first WrestleMania, isn't that crazy to
Yes.
think about? I
Agree.
mean, it's
Agree
crazy.
across the board.
35, 34. He's kind of
Oh no, he's older than that. He's 39.
39.
I think he just turned 40 actually, like a couple weeks ago.
Surprised, yeah.
I think he just turned 40.
Give him his moment.
Yeah,
Next
He
up,
deserves it.
yeah, he deserves it.
Next up, we have the Intercontinental Championship: Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor. Bobby Lashley currently holding the title. I'm predicting, because A, the Demon's there, and B, Finn has not gotten a win by pinning Bobby Lashley yet. He's always won by pinning, Leo Rush or some other shenanigans.
Or Jinder Mahal because reasons.
Yeah. Which was horrible. I hated it.
Oh yeah.
I'm going Finn Balor. Caveat: I'm a huge Finn fanboy. He's now my second favorite wrestler. He was my favorite.
Fickle!
But I'm sorry, Aleister Black on the main roster is just too good. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the supernatural thing. So Finn's now number 2. Sorry, Finn, I love you, but number 2.
Cheating on him.
They both have supernatural gimmicks
disloyal.
though, and it's
So
fucking
disloyal.
amazing.
So
I want them to go
disloyal.
at it together.
I would love that.
wrong.
Oh,
Yes,
it's so
please.
good, so good. But yeah, I'm going Finn.
I am going with Finn also. Demon is my first reason, and I have no further reasons.
Same thing. Yeah.
Finn,
Wow, 3 in a row.
the Demon King.
The thought process is uniform. Next up, we have The Game versus Batista.
The animal!
Yeah.
Big day.
No holds bar match. Triple H's career is on the line in this match. This is Batista's
Is it
retirement
though?
match. I guess.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No.
Clearly, that's not the case.
It's not the case at all.
But that's what they're saying. Now, this prediction is just for the sake of the show because my bold prediction is going to have something else happen. But I'm going to say that Triple H wins to retain his right to wrestle because it's Triple H. So
We need more Triple H matches for sure.
that's what I'm predicting.
All right. I'm going with Triple H too. I'm rooting for Batista because A, I love Batista, and B, because no disrespect to Triple H, but I've had quite enough of seeing his 50-year-old self in a wrestling ring. He has always had a snail's pace in the way that he's worked already, and now being an old man, it's special. It's now an old snail. I can't stand many more Triple H matches at this point. And the last time he wrestled, he tore his pec like 30 seconds into the match.
Yeah.
So his body is going too. It's just I feel like these two guys are going to be racing to see who's going to last longer without a muscle tear because that's what happens when you put 50-year-old jack dudes into a wrestling match. So it's the match I'm least looking forward to, possibly on the whole card.
Wow.
Even worse than
My nap
Kurt
break, not sleep break.
Even worse than Kurt.
Yeah, well, at least that'll be over quick. This
Yeah.
is going to be a half an hour.
It's gonna be-
I mean, we're going to be
Any Triple H match. is
any
always
Triple H
lengthy.
match. Yeah, it's always like that. And
outside ring.
yeah,
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
we're gonna be there for half an hour watching this. So just because of that reason, it's definitely the one I'm least looking forward to. Even though I love the guys for their contributions to the industry, and I love Batista, I'll pick Triple H and unfortunately sit through it.
Just because his career's on the line, Triple H has to win it.
yeah.
I hate when they do that because they
Yeah,
actually know
give it
who's
away.
gonna win.
Yeah. It does not
There's
have
no
to
way
be
he
for
gave it
that.
away.
It could just been a random match that
Yeah.
just happened. It was like, no, Triple H, he will never wrestle. And it was like, well, he's going to wrestle tomorrow.
Yeah, was that necessary though?
What do you say, Shane?
You gotta give it to Triple H.
Yep. All right. We got another agreement across the board. Not really making any separation so far.
I think we will on the next one.
All right.
We will on the next
This
one.
one's a big one. We got AJ Styles versus Randy Orton after building up this promo feud they've been having for about 3 weeks
Fantastic
now, which has been
promos.
awesome.
Fantastic
They've been
promos.
tearing apart to fucking shreds, and it's been great to watch. Very entertaining.
I hate the Indies. Randy is my favorite Randy, by the way.
That's how to get real heat now.
Yeah.
I think they're two of the best
Yeah.
especially when Randy wants to be.
Yeah.
And it's set up to be an awesome, incredible match.
Yep.
I think AJ Styles is going to win it just to kind of give clout to the indie scene. And because let's face it, most of the roster is now or originated from the indie scene now, and most of the best ones are indie guys. So I'm going AJ Styles.
I got the Viper, Randy Orton, in this one. I feel like this is a good opportunity for AJ to have a good reason to pursue new interests on Raw, and I feel like Randy needs a big win. I can't remember his last big win. Maybe Jeff Hardy
Yeah,
in
it has
that
been a
Hell in a
while.
Cell match. It seems like it's been a while since Randy
He's
really
tearing
scored
apart
a big
his
win.
ear hole and licking
Yeah.
it.
Oh, did not lick it.
That was so gross. So gross.
So I feel like Randy's in need of a win. This seems like a good opportunity for both of those guys to move in the directions that they need to move. I do think this will be one of the best matches. I predicted on the show last week that this could be a show stealer. I think these guys are really that good when Randy is, as you said, engaged, which he seems to be with this feud, just based on what he's been doing in the ring since the feud started, as well as what he's been doing on the mic. I think these have been some of the best promo. I mean, after that first promo, I was ready for this match, which is really impressive to hook me with one promo. And that's how good it's
that's
been.
great.
So very much looking forward to this. But yeah, I got the Viper.
All right. What do you say?
SmackDown's go home. Didn't Orton stand tall over AJ? If I recall, I think so.
I don't remember.
So
Yeah,
based on
yeah.
classic WWE Vince logic, I think AJ gets the win back. Like Dan was saying, I think this should steal the match. Randy,
Now, we might be cheating a little bit because we saw the live match after 205 Live, the blackout match, and AJ won. So that's another reason why I think AJ's going to win. But
yeah, this should be the best match. AJ should definitely have Orton motivated to do something.
Yeah.
So I feel like that could be the best match on the card.
Yep.
So I got AJ.
I got Orton.
Orton, all right.
Yeah, I want
Split decision.
I want Orton to, when he cares about a match, he'll give
Right.
you
Yeah.
he'll give you a good performance, and I feel like you want to maybe get AJ out of there and put him in Raw or something.
Yeah. Plus, I would add that these kinds of matches are usually where Randy's going to pull out his most creative RKOs, and that is currently an extremely protected finisher. Yes. So there's going to be an awesome RKO, and it's very likely it's going to be the winning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Next up, we have the kind of end-all of the whole Shield versus Drew McIntyre feud, where McIntyre's been just decimating everybody in the Shield. And it's been one of the few fun things to watch on Raw, in my personal opinion. Not great, but still very enjoyable. And I think this, finally brings it all the way around to completion. And I think ends the Shield permanently. And I think Drew McIntyre wins.
I've also got McIntyre. I think they've been preparing him for a big push for some time to be a top heel. I think he could potentially be a challenger to whoever emerges as Universal Champion in the near future, or maybe SummerSlam. They seem to be investing a lot in him, and I think they're doing that because they have big plans for him.
I just
in the
wish
main
he would
event
stop
scene.
Crouching into a little ball every match. He's so huge. Why do you crouch?
Yeah, that is
stop getting
such
small.
a weird habit.
You're a big guy.
Yeah.
Don't be small.
This is another one that's tough to call for me, just because it is Roman's sort of first big match since he came back, and there's all that emotion behind him, and he's really been on the on the bad end of this feud so far. It seems like nothing has happened except him getting beat down by Drew, which suggests, with the reverse momentum, that it would be Roman. But I do think it's going to be Drew.
When in doubt, Roman. He came back. He beat cancer. I don't think they're gonna let him lose this early. I love Drew. I want him to be the top guy as he should, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'd give it to Roman too. You want to protect Roman, and he's coming back from leukemia, and it's a feel good. And actually, it kind of feels like the crowd kind of likes him again. It feels like he's not getting booed. Well, sometimes he gets booed, but like it seems like the crowd is like Roman, like they're cheering. Roman's like, this cancer
We kind of can't boo him now.
You can't boo Roman because he beat leukemia. So I give it to
McIntyre did.
Yeah.
I'll beat you.
Yeah.
Worse than leukemia.
Yeah, McIntyre claimed to be worse than cancer, basically, a couple weeks ago, so there is that.
Yeah, I give it to Roman.
All right, so nice split decision
Another
there.
split
2 on
decision.
2.
Big dog.
Next up, we have Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston, the culmination of Kofi
big
Mania. This one I'm very conflicted on because I love the Planets Championship gimmick so much. I love seeing the belt. I love seeing I love everything about it on the Daniel Bryan side. Now, on the Kofi Kingston side, I also love it because it's one of the most genuine, like spontaneous, like fluid events in WWE history, I think.
So
and
organic.
it's so natural. It's not forced.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's there's a lot of potential for this being the best moment in the entire show, especially from an emotional perspective. Some people might say Becky Lynch and Ronda and Charlotte, but I think that one's been beaten to death so hard that it doesn't have much of the pull anymore. Where I think this Kofi Mania up against the Planet's champion is just going to be amazing. We're probably going to see a lot of Rowan and New Day like going at it on the sidelines, and I think this is going to be a fucking awesome match. I think it's clear that they're probably going to make Kofi win, as they probably should. But because I love Daniel Bryan so much, because I love the new Daniel Bryan so much, and I love the whole Planet's Championship gimmick, I'm going to go against my better instincts and say that Daniel Bryan wins.
Wow.
Come at me, bro. I want it to happen. I'm going to make it happen with my psyche. I love Kofi. Don't get me wrong. If he wins, it's well-deserved, and it should happen. But I love the Planet Champion so much. It's my favorite gimmick of all time. Period.
Wow.
It's my favorite gimmick of all time.
Okay.
I love it so much.
Okay.
I love it.
So that happened. I'm going with Kofi, I think. Kofi Mania is running wild. They have not been telling this whole story just for him to fall short in the end. I think they've learned their lesson with Daniel Bryan in 2014, hopefully. I think that we will have a couple big-time feel-good moments in these main event caliber matches. And I think we will have some sadness in one of those main event caliber matches, and it will not be this one. Kofi's going to win.
What do you
This is
guys
another
say?
match. This is the only one I'm really thoroughly interested in. I like how they've told the story. And
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
two together on a wrestling standpoint, I feel like
It's been
this could
great.
also be
Definitely.
Yeah.
one of the better matches, if not the best one. I got Kofi as well. You can't prolong this and have it like that.
But Vince can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
yeah,
well,
for sure.
Can't put anything past Vince, unfortunately.
Same.
Kofi?
Across the board.
Yeah.
we're a little biased, but
Yeah, we're a little biased,
for obvious
but-
reasons.
No, I
but-
get it. it's fucking awesome. Like
It's
it's
so
it's been
refreshing.
such a great organic movement, and
Right.
it should happen. I fully admit that if it was me and 100 other people deciding this, I would be the one person deciding for Daniel Bryan, just because I love this particular gimmick so
Oh,
much.
yeah. Flawless.
I get it. I love the belt. I love Daniel Bryan. I love the cult that he's forming with Rowan, but Kofi deserves to win. Kofi should be the
And
victor,
Bryan can
and
always
it's
get
the
it back
natural
later on.
conclusion.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's the appropriate conclusion of this to have it on the biggest stage of them all.
Yes.
So, I'm probably gonna lose that one. I fully admit. I am sacrificing that point because I enjoy it. So, next up, we have the conclusion of the whole Seth Rollins Brock Lesnar feud, which has been problematic at times, to say the least. Is Brock Lesnar going to retain again?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Who knows? I think, honestly, this is probably it. I think this, in my opinion, let's face it, Rollins has carried Raw for so long. I think this is the natural person to give the belt to. They haven't made him look very good, with McIntyre beating the shit out of him recently, and him not really saying he's going to beat him, just saying it's possible. But I think this is the moment to finally hand it over. I think Daniel Bryan's going to be the contrast, and I think Seth Rollins is going to be the one that finally takes the belt away from Lesnar. That's what I'm predicting.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I feel like these big three title matches are the most consequential matches on the card, and they can't have three baby faces have their crowning moments all on the same card at the same show in front of the same crowd. They will just exhaust the endorphin supply of the live crowd. And because I'm picking baby faces in the other, I feel like out of the big three, Seth, Becky, and Kofi, Seth is the least important of that three. He is the odd man out as far as fan support and as far as the story that was told to get to this point. And then you've also just got Roman Reigns that still exists, which means Seth will not be the top guy as long as Roman Reigns continues to exist. So it seems unlikely that Seth is going to be the guy to take the belt off of Brock Lesnar at this point. I don't think he's been built credibly enough to take the belt off of Brock Lesnar at this point without help. So yeah, I'm going Brock Lesnar.
All right.
Yeah, same. If Roman couldn't do it at Mania, what the hell makes you think
Yeah.
Seth
Yeah.
Also-
But then who can?
well,
There's no
Roman.
one left.
There's
Roman
also,
will.
isn't there another Saudi show coming up?
Yes.
I feel like they're going to prolong this and have a rematch. I think Seth wins it there, but I think Brock wins at Mania.
And Brock has been confirmed for that Saudi show,
Exactly.
whatever they do with
Brock
him
is
too.
definitely
Okay.
winning at Mania, and
Oh, yeah, you're going to love it.
that's if there's a bittersweet pill, if that means that Becky wins and Kofi wins, Seth will have to lose.
Yeah,
He can,
exactly.
he can take one for the team.
Yeah,
He will
exactly.
have to take one for the team.
Yeah, and I'll take that deal
Take
personally.
that bullet any day of the week. Absolutely.
All right, and then we have the main event, the first women's main event in WrestleMania history. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I thought it was great at the beginning, and now it's just awful.
Same.
It's beaten to death. I'm so done with it. I'm ready for this to be over. That's the only reason I want to see this match, is because I don't want any more of this. Period. I hate the storyline. I'm so done.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, you're right.
Yeah. The storyline is
I
different.
mean, yeah.
I am predicting this to be, even though it's clear that Becky Lynch is the favorite and should be the favorite because she's basically the kind of Stone Cold character now. I think that Vince is going to be Vince, and he's going to give it to Ronda Rousey. I think all these rumors about her wanting to leave is just to mislead. I think it's just to mislead people.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
That's what I honestly believe. I think Ronda Rousey is getting the push because she's Ronda Rousey, and she has the pull that Vince knows he can take advantage of. And I think it's gonna bring real heat going into the future.
There will be a riot.
If Ronda has desecrated our palace and
there will be a riot.
took both of the women's belts, I think that's how you get the hail boos. That's how you get the real villain push. That's how you get the real, badass woman character going at full speed. I know people are going to hate it, but that's the point. And that's what Vince is going to see, and that's what he's going to think. I'm going Ronda.
Ronda hasn't lost a match. So if we're going to talk about then who, if it's not the most popular woman that you have on your roster on the biggest stage in the first ever women's main event, then who beats Ronda? And that's how I feel about it. It's got to be Becky. She is the most popular performer in the company right now, and it's the first time ever that a woman has been the most popular performer in the company. They're strapping the rocket to her back. She has only taken one clean loss since she beat Charlotte Flair for the title originally in September. It was against Asuka, and then they did everything they could to make us all forget that it happened. To me, that indicates how strongly they feel about pushing Becky. There's a lot of reporting that Vince really, really likes Becky and really, really wants her to be the person. Yeah. This has got to be Becky's moment. This is. They need to close the show with Becky with both belts with a happy crowd. They've done this enough where they close the show with somebody getting booed out of the building, and the after effects of that have been not good. And
You're
have
still
changed,
watching, aren't you? You're still a subscriber.
They have changed course before as a result of that. I don't think that he's not going to end. I don't think he's going to end WrestleMania with the winner getting booed out of the building. This is Becky's moment, and if it's not Becky's moment, then just go ahead and make Ronda the permanent champion and retire her, because nobody else deserves to beat her if the man doesn't deserve to beat her on this stage. I got Becky.
Nobody deserves anything, Kofi. Becky, you're a B+ player.
Got another wild card for you guys. I think Charlotte. I'm contemplating sitting here.
Ooh.
But you get
I think that's his bold statement.
you get the best of both worlds. You get Ronda leaving, and then the heat, as you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Charlotte has like this corporate choice to have her be both belts, the pedigree. I got Charlotte.
That's
I'll say Becky.
Becky.
I think Charlotte's there just to take the pin to protect Ronda. You want to keep Ronda up, but that's why Charlotte's there to take that pin.
Wow.
And, to eat that pin. And then you got Becky to get the feel good.
All right. Well, there you have it. There's all our main predictions. We're going to move on to the bold predictions here. Honestly, I think this woman's final match is actually a little more divisive than people are saying it. I think that there might be some significant, parity between the three players, and I think it's more open than people realize.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. It's time for the bold predictions. All right. My bold prediction, real basic. I think John Cena is going to run out and interrupt the Triple H and Batista match. And I think because it's no holds barred, we're going to have some controversy at the end here. While I predicted Triple H to win in a standard environment, I think that he's going to help Batista win for some story reason that they'll convey, I'm sure. But that's what I think.
I think we're getting a rock concert. I think that Elias will get interrupted as he normally does. Will get increasingly frustrated as the night goes on. Will eventually start ripping the crowd a new asshole, and that is when the People's Champion will show up. And that will infuriate Elias at first until The Rock makes clear that he respects Elias as a musical artist and as a great performer, and he is just there because he wants to have the opportunity to have a duet with Elias, and he will bring his guitar. We will get a rock concert featuring Elias, and then at the end of that concert, Elias will say something disrespectful, and The Rock will challenge him to a match, which he will win in 6 seconds, beating his record against Eric Rowan at a previous WrestleMania. Very specific, but that's my bold prediction.
All right, very nice.
Do these bold predictions have to coincide with our picks, or
No.
okay? I'm gonna do some callbacks. I feel Drew and Roman will start the show. All right, so that'll be the first match. Roman wins. Then you go to whenever the Universal Championship thing. Brock squashes him. Roman comes out, challenges him, beats him right there.
Wow.
I wouldn't want that to happen, but I'm just we're gonna go bold, brother. For shooting.
Love me some Roman. Love some Roman.
So
Oh yeah.
so Brock or Roman challenges Brock at the end there,
After. Yeah.
and then Roman wins.
Yep.
Oh,
That's bold.
That one's happening.
That is
but
bold.
We're talking about bold. Or Lacey Evans beats him, but it's just
One of the two.
That's a pretty good one.
I was thinking, here's my bold, is that the end of Seth Brock, Undertaker comes out. Unfinished business, maybe. I feel like Undertaker will show up somewhere. He's going to be on that card. He actually looks like in good shape, but show up the last 5 seconds and lights go off. Tombstone. Even if Brock ends up winning and beats Seth, Undertaker comes out. Tombstone. That's the end of it. If Seth loses, that's my.
Undertaker comes out against Brock.
Yep.
This is Brock.
Yep.
Okay. All right, and then Undertaker wins. Is that what you're
I
predicting?
feel like Brock will not squash Seth, but Brock will win, and then Undertaker will come out and just run interference and just pop up, leave, get that payday.
Okay. Cool. All right. No problems. Everybody thinks it's pretty bold.
No,
All right, we got it locked in. Those are our predictions.
All right.
It's official. It's on the card. We will see who the victor will be. Who will win the title for Hit the Mats podcast? On behalf of Dan the Man Maloney and myself, I want to thank you for sticking with us. Thank you, Caleb, for
Yes, thank
coming
you.
to the show. Thank you, Shane, for
Thank
coming
you.
to the show.
great.
Hopefully, we see more of you guys in the future.
Definitely.
You're always
Yes.
welcome.
Absolutely.
And of course, we got to talk about who gets the title and hand off the title. It should be pretty fun. Remember, you can check us out on our website, htbvids.com. Combine some stuff there. Where we have links to all of our podcast shows, blogs, every little knickknack you can imagine. It's on there. You can write to us at hitthebooksvids@gmail.com if you want to submit some topics for the show or any constructive criticism or suggestions. You can talk to us on Twitter at HTBVids. You can talk to us on Facebook at facebook.com/hitthebooks. We have a Patreon page. It's patreon.com/hitthebooks. It encompasses both Hit the Mats podcast and Hit the Books podcast. So you're supporting both shows if you contribute to that. I'm probably forgetting something. We're on iTunes, on YouTube, on Spotify, on SoundCloud, and on Stitcher. So be sure to check us out on any of those venues. Give us good reviews. Give us a thumbs up on the video. Share it with your friends. Subscribe. Hit the bell if you want notifications in the future. Yeah, I think that's everything. It's been a great episode.
Yes.
WrestleMania is going to be something. We'll see whether it's awesome or not. NXT TakeOver was fucking awesome. And let's face it, this is basically wrestling Christmas. It's that time of the year.
Yep.
We got many things to look forward to once WrestleMania is over with and these storylines are finally complete. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
So without further ado, let's get out of here. We love you all. Thanks for sticking with us. And we'll see you next time.